September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and today I'm joined by Bronwyn and Michael Green, who are going to share their very personal story today. So thank you both for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
And before I go into your son and kind of what you guys went through, I want to read off some statistics because I think some people might not realize how common childhood cancer is and how little funding it gets. So cancer is the #1 leading cause of death by disease among children, which I think is pretty striking. And the #1 cause of death by disease among children. And the National Pediatric Center Foundation says only a small percentage of the federal funding for cancer research goes to childhood cancer. So I know that's an important cause to you guys personally, but I think the statistics also show why it's just important overall. So can you tell me a little bit about what happened to your son and your personal story?
Sure. Well, both of us love to talk about Ian, and we could spend all day
And that's
doing
who we're
that.
looking at behind us.
Yep.
Ian was just, was a bright light in our lives and really in the lives of everyone who knew him. And he was 12 and in 7th grade, and fall of 2019 when he started having knee pain, and he was playing a lot of soccer at the time. He loved soccer, and so we initially thought it was due to that, but it became clear that it was something more. And in November of 2019 he was diagnosed with osteosarcoma of his left lower leg, and which osteosarcoma is cancer of the bone tissue. And we went from there.
And it spread.
Yes.
Basically.
So, unfortunately, it's not a great cancer. The 5-year survival rate, if it's localized, is 70%, but it drops to more like 25% when it has spread. And unfortunately, Ian had metastatic disease to his lungs and other bones. So it was kind of the worst of the worst.
And I know that's why you really want to promote research. Tell me about the yellow bow that we have here, the purpose of it, and then what you hope to get out of the research funding in the childhood cancer.
Okay, yeah. One thing I would just want to point out is that the treatment for osteosarcoma hasn't changed in over 40 years.
Wow.
And so that treatment is chemotherapy and then surgery and then chemotherapy. And for Ian, he didn't respond to chemotherapy. It's clear that we need new treatments. Through our experience, we saw a huge need for new and better treatments for osteosarcoma. And as you said, we know that childhood cancers, and especially rare cancers like osteosarcoma, are underfunded. So MIB Agents Osteosarcoma Alliance has given us a way to help fund that research. And these gold bows, we've participated in this for the last 5 years, and it's a way for people in the community to show support for all children in our community who are facing cancer diagnosis or have been treated and have survived, and those in the future too. And then it raises awareness too, as people see the bows tied on a mailbox or a porch column.
You hang it on your house. That's the idea.
Yes, anywhere. Actually, ours is on a tree near the sidewalk this year. And so people see this yellow bow and remember what it represents, or maybe learn about it for the first time. So, and what's especially important to us is that each donation goes to help fund the research that's so crucial in order to find those new treatments.
I'm running a little bit out of time, but Michael, I want to ask you a question. Why do you want others to join in this cause? I mean, I know when I interviewed you 2 years ago, it was a little more emotional. Obviously, we're in a different setting.
Yeah.
But why is this important to you?
It's still something that can bring tears to our eyes on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You never forget him. And I think before we actually had a child with cancer or a child facing any life-threatening illness, we didn't really take it as seriously as we probably should have. I remember just feeling guilty, thinking, wow, this happens to people every day. And I cared, but I didn't care the way I do now. And it's going to take all of us. You know, and a hard cancer like osteosarcoma, if we can cure osteosarcoma, we can really have some inroads into other cancers. You know, anything, it is a hard cancer. It is hard in every way. It's hard surgically, it's hard medically, it's hard immunotherapy-wise, and if we can have some breakthroughs there, it'll be very applicable to every cancer. So we've joined this organization, and we're lucky enough to go to their national conference this year, which is more than you would think anybody could bite off, but they bring patients and doctors and researchers together and fundraisers. And compared to 5 years ago, they raised $100,000 for research. This year it was over $700,000.
That's awesome.
So there's
seven times the amount.
Yes.
Wow.
And there are some smart, caring people working on it, and they're learning some things. And the reason everybody needs to be involved is because it's going to take all of us to fund it, and that's what they're looking for. You know, it will be cured one day, and whether that's next year or who knows when is up to all of us.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Sharing the story of Ian, and you know, we'll have obviously a link to everything that you can do to get involved if people want to. So thank you
Great.
for being on the
Thank you.
show.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you so much.